Yeah. Yeah. Can you believe they told me that I would never make it? Now we smiling in their faces, smiling in their faces.
Maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, a reporter asked me like, Bron, did you going to Miami, did that turn you into a winner? And kind of thought about it for a little bit. And I responded, I said,
ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tyler Rose TV. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe. For today's video, we got something crazy. Listen, I seen this clip. I said I got to make some content about it. I like to debunk things. I like to make content around something I disagree with. Sometimes things that I agree with. But in this case, Mind the Game podcast, your boy LeBron James and Steve Nash, man. LeBron had this to say, man. Let's just get straight into it. You've seen the title. You know what's going on. But if you haven't seen it, we're going to roll the clip for you guys. Let's get into it. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe.
Maybe 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, a reporter
About a week ago.
asked me like, Bron, did you going to Miami, did that turn you into a winner? And kind of thought about it for a little bit. And I responded, I said, actually, I've always been a winner.
Stop the cap.
Going to Miami
evolved
me and showed me how to win at the highest level of this league. You know, it
So you weren't wearing the NBA. Thank you.
helped me get to that point, but I've always been a winner.
Because that'd be an insult to your high school coach, high
It
school
would
teams.
be. Yeah, it would be. Every stop in my basketball journey has resulted in a championship.
Yeah.
And that is from the little leagues to middle school to high school and in the
Is this man talking about he's talking about middle school and high school right now, bro?
pros. I've always won.
Light work.
And yeah, I wouldn't say light work, but yeah, it could be light work at times. But yeah, so
Light work, man. 4 and 6, that's light work. Steve, stop glazing, bro. It's okay to disagree with somebody. I swear, he ain't gonna kick you off the pod unless you become his coach and you're JJ Redick. You can disagree with the man. It's okay. It's just basketball. It's not personal.
So to hear that, you know, the winningest player, you know, in NBA history, it's like it's a shout out to all my coaches, all my teammates.
All right, there you see it. So one thing I want to get into real quick, so I got another clip. To show you how ridiculous his statement was, this is not the first time LeBron said something like this. Let me go back to when Shannon Sharpe was not defending LeBron, even though he's one of the biggest fanboys of LeBron. Let's get into that real quick.
Shannon?
Yes.
Do you agree with what LeBron said about his time in Miami?
Hell no, I vehemently disagree. I strenuously disagree with what he said. At the time that he had arrived in Miami, he had two regular season MVPs and one finals appearance through his first 7 seasons. LeBron, do you realize the reason why you got into the GOAT conversation? Because of what transpired in Miami? You won 2 more finals MVPs. You won 2 more regular season MVPs. You went to 4 straight finals. LeBron, how can you say that your career was going to be the same without going to Miami?
So this man is not the first time he's talked about this Miami thing. This man literally has told you his career would have been the same if he didn't go to Miami. So why would you leave Cleveland? If you were a winner before you went to Miami, if your career would have been the same if you didn't go to Miami, why did you leave Cleveland? Why did you leave Cleveland? I really don't understand the logic behind making a move to leave a city that drafted you, that raised you. You got the city on your back when you said, I'm already a winner. Well, if you're already a winner, maybe you're talking about your finances. Maybe you're talking about your career as being a professional sports player. Yeah, you're a winner there, but you didn't win on the biggest stage yet, bro. Matter of fact, you got swept. Now, let me get into this clip right here because I just want to show you what he did before going to Miami.
The San Antonio Spurs are NBA champions once again. James gets it, fires up a quick three, won't go. Smith the rebound, back out, stolen by House, and that'll do it. The Celtics
2008, the first one was 2007.
are going back to the Eastern Conference Finals.
The Orlando Magic have defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers.
This series right here, right? This is the series LeBron was favored in, as well as the next one.
The Boston Celtics win.
That's 2010 right there.
The huge upset. They advance to the conference finals. And LeBron James sees.
So as you can see, the man was not a winner before he went to Miami. Maybe he was a winner on in the middle school level and the high school level. But as far as being in the pros, you're not a winner. And that's okay. A lot of players didn't win championships. And maybe a lot of great players would have won more if they did what you did, which go play with two of the best players in the conference, teaming up with a guy who was already a finals MVP, who's already a proven champion. Many players could have maybe came across a situation like yourself and decided to take the easier way out. But many people are always going to tell you, LeBron, the Miami move was a bad move in the eyes of real competitors, right? Now, the problem I have is I think LeBron wants to prove to you so much that he didn't need to do that for him to be great. Well, the problem is, yeah, you did great things on the court, but you never won. And you didn't win until you came into a D-Wade who already proved himself to be a winner, who already carried a team on his back with Shaq, with a bunch of players that were past their prime, like old Alonzo Mourning, with Antoine Walker, who was on his last leg. A lot of those guys were like, D-Wade, take us home, big dog. Take us to the promised land. Now LeBron is joining forces with that guy who just averaged 30. Chris Bosh, who was an all-NBA first team, 24 and 10. Okay, so now we have a whole different heightened game now. We have a whole different playing field. You're no longer just the guy in Cleveland. You're the guy that teamed up with some of the best players that played in the freaking Olympics and started on a team that you played for and win a gold medal. You got your Olympic teammates, the best players in the draft, the best players in the conference. That's what made you a winner. And then even after you left, everywhere you went, you played with an all-NBA player who was one or two, if not players, that were all NBA players on your team. So the biggest problem I have with this is really just this. I think LeBron lies too much and like changes his opinions on things, backtracks to big himself up too much. There's not a problem, right, that LeBron James didn't win a championship before he got there. That's your truth. You live those truths. The Pat Riley system, right? Eric Spoelstra, Dwayne Wade, the Heat culture. That was what made you a winner. You won half of your rings with Dwayne Wade as your guy, who in one said you can take over as the number one option, because obviously the Dallas series, LeBron didn't know how to play a second fiddle role. That's why he played terrible, and that's why he had a meltdown. That's not winning basketball. Your first two finals you lose, and you're 4-6 in the finals. You're not a winner on this stage. You have a losing record when the game matters the most. That doesn't make you a winner. That makes you a loser. But to say that you're a winner before then, I don't know. You want to argue about him being a winner after? Say what you want. I'm not arguing that. You want to call LeBron James a winning player? I call him a guy that kind of takes the shortcut around things, and to me that doesn't make a winner. That makes a person that's doing cheap things to win. In my eyes, I think you take the elevator, or you take the stairs. You know what I mean? The stairs are harder. The elevator is gonna be easy. So what do you want? What would you want from a player? And those are my thoughts. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace.